Hi, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of AI for Equity in 2025. Can you believe it?
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, New Year. I'm just going to kickstart this with some questions.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
what's one moment, innovation, or conversation from 2025 that gave you genuine hope for the future?
Oh, wow. There's been so many moments. And if it's going to be related to the podcast, I would say I loved talking to Paul D, Dr. Paul D, from the Ottomans Institute, about how AI can be taken to developing countries or countries with intermittent internet, and people can still access their AI and still be able to have education through it if that's what they're using it for. That was so hopeful, the way AI was being used in a way that could help educate and level the playing field and mean that no one misses out on education. So I think that's one moment that definitely gave me quite a lot of hope for AI and how it could be used.
I think in terms of the podcast, I have honestly just found recording it and getting so many different insights, so hopeful and powerful as well on a personal level, but also AI and tech based. Would I would say it was attending the Black Girl Tech Summit in Berlin, hosted by Vanessa. Whoop whoop, well done. That was honestly just so inspiring to get again so many voices heard and so many voices bouncing off each other and feeding new ideas. And, oh, this is just what I love. I love the sense of community that not only was built there, but is also built by our podcast.
AI, a big topic there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
was yeah, it was a really, really big topic there.
mhm,
I would say that it was just insightful, and it was also really interesting because I work in AI.
mhm.
That's what my company is. I also run this podcast as well. I produce the podcast. So if you research the podcast, I'm around a lot of people that do the same things as me. It's really interesting to hear perspectives from people that don't use AI and don't really know that much about AI and that want to learn but don't know where to start. It was interesting to see the other side of the spectrum.
Hey,
Yeah.
sounds really good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Holidays remind us of connection and empathy. How do you think AI can help us strengthen human connection?
That's a tough question.
Over the
Over the
holidays. We'll say
holiday.
over the holidays.
Yeah. I love Christmas. I really enjoy it. It's a lovely family time. I like just the sort of family meal, getting everyone together. I love playing games at Christmas as well. I really enjoy doing that. Sometimes it's been stressful because there's been a build up. Maybe I've been working up till Christmas Eve, and then you've got to get your house ready and you've got to get your food ready. And so at those times, it can be a bit much because you want to enjoy and you want to relax, but having to do a lot of things. So I think AI can definitely help the sort of busy person streamline how they do things. It might be as simple as, I know the gifts I want to buy and I need to go and collect them. What's the best route? That's going to be the quickest, or you know, be the most efficient route for what I'm trying to achieve. So it could be, I think, maybe ways to be smarter and streamline the things that you're planning to do. I think, but I also think it can help you with ideas. So if you're that person who never knows what to buy someone, maybe you've got a 10-year-old girl in your family or a 70-year-old uncle, and you're thinking, I don't know what they like. I think AI is great at giving suggestions. That can be really helpful, rather than maybe rocking up with the same voucher or giving a 10-year-old something that's more for a 6-year-old and seeing their face sort of scrunched up. You can really be the one who really pleases them and seems super thoughtful, because you would have been thoughtful, but you might have got it wrong in the past, and now you get the chance to actually get it right. So there's a couple of ways I'm thinking of.
Yeah. On another side, I recently used AI to find some Christmas films I'd never watched
Oh,
before.
okay.
I'm quite into the horror genre,
Mm.
and I feel like Christmas horror is something that I've not really heard of.
Mm.
And I was having a movie and Christmas snack night with a friend, and I was like, well, instead of watching the same Christmas horror film that I've watched a few years in a row, let's find some new ones. And it gave me some really good Christmas film suggestions.
Mm.
Obviously, you don't have to watch horror, but that was a good way that I used it. I also recently put all of the Christmas presents I was going to get everyone, because I kind of have a rough idea of what I want to get people. And I asked AI, can you find me some discount codes for these shops? Can you
Oh, that's a
find,
good one.
yeah, can you find some discount codes? Can you find some places that I could go where I could get all of these things? And it gave it to me. I haven't tried it yet though, so,
Yeah, so you don't know if
so I don't know if they work.
the codes are out of date.
That's the whole thing. I think that AI really has the facilities to help us strengthen rather than demolish human connection.
Hmm.
You know, technology doesn't have to be our crutch. It can be our hammer that we use to build bridges.
Okay, because I think about hammers breaking something down, but yeah, okay. One of the things I love about Christmas is food. What's your favorite food at Christmas?
I do love your turkey.
Okay, oh, that's
I
nice.
do. I love my mum's turkey.
Mm,
What else do I love? We have a spread.
yeah,
We have a
we
spread at
do.
Christmas. I usually like everything I eat on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I always love the vegetarian dishes as well, despite not being vegetarian. Yeah.
I think some people are cooking for people that they wouldn't normally do. And I definitely, you mentioned being vegetarian. I definitely think that people have more dietary requirements now. There's a lot of dairy free, nut free, gluten free, etc.
You're just naming all the things that I can't eat.
No, I wasn't going there. I was just being general. So I think that AI can help with that, like turn your normal meal into one of those, I shouldn't say normal, traditional meal. Yeah. How could I make this gluten free? How can I make this dairy free? So AI could help you do that, and it would feel really personal and considerate as well.
It would. And I do think recipes from AI are usually really, really good, because you don't have to scroll through tens of pages to find an alternative to like self-raising flour, or I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that's like kind of niche. That would be niche, that you need to take 10 hours out of your day for, can give you a very quick and easy solution. As someone who is nut free and predominantly dairy free and kind of gluten intolerant as well, I find when I'm making food, I do go to AI or an LLM quite quickly. Like, what can I swap out for this? Because I used to eat it and I used to love it, and now I can't.
And I think that Christmas menu as well, you could get it on AI. You could say, I want something different, and these are my favorite foods, and I want to bring them together, or a party brunch or something like that.
Exactly.
Something I haven't used AI for is games.
I have used AI for games. It comes up with really good ones, really thoughtful ones. If you're very specific about who's playing as well, it can tailor it really, really well. Yeah, I've played AI games. They're very, very fun. I've only played them at parties before though, so everything's a bit more fun at a party.
Yes.
But Christmas is a party as well. It's celebration.
It is. And whether you celebrate Christmas, you're just having the holidays, you can just have a great time, can't you? Whatever you're doing.
My next question is about equity at the table. If the AI industry had a Christmas dinner, who or what voices would still be missing at the table? And how do we make space for them next year?
Brilliant question. I mean, it's always going to be those who are minoritized groups, indigenous people. There's a lot of people there's a digital divide. There's a lot of people who are not accessing the internet, let alone accessing AI. So I think their voices need to be at the table. But I think there's a lot of people from minority backgrounds who perhaps are sort of not in that conversation. As you know, I recently spoke at Parliament at a Black Futures in AI conversation. And it really was that sense of, if you want to be able to shape something, you need to be part of it, or else it's done unto you. And so, if we don't want to be the people complaining that people are not thinking of us when it comes to AI, then we need to be part of the conversation and be there at the beginning, and also even inputting our data so the data can reflect us. So I could go on forever, so I won't. But I think people who are missing because of the digital divide, and I think people who are traditionally, minoritized, and as a result haven't been part of some of these bigger conversations.
I completely agree. I actually have nothing to add to that. We are completely in the same space, same place for that. Which I'm not that surprised about.
Yeah. And I think the other thing about a table, it's like, who should be at the table? If you're going to bring me into the table, I need to have equal say. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people say, yeah, rock up a seat, but then they're not listening and they're
Yeah.
not really interested. They just brought you there.
Exactly.
So it's really giving weight to voices and considering them as just as important, if not more important, because their voice isn't being heard. The work I do around leadership, this is really key. And what people often say is, well, there's not enough space at the table. They'll have to wait till someone leaves the table. And I think make the table bigger,
Yeah.
bring up some more chairs,
Yeah.
and let's have everyone who needs to be in the conversation.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
Mm.
I would really love to see more women and more Black women
Mm.
in AI next year. Black women are behind, obviously partially due to the digital divide, partially just due to misogynoir as well.
I think one thing for sure, there are people like you. And I think what was great about, you are a young woman, you are a young woman of color. And I think that making sure voices like yours are in this space are
Yeah.
very important. So um, I think it's key. And I think it's that diversity of voice and perspective. I think there should be more also neurodivergent people
Mhm.
as well in this
Yeah.
space. So
I
I
agree.
think it's about getting us all in there and all
Yeah.
of our voices there and people really understanding and thinking about what we have to say. So I completely agree with you. The thing about Black women, I mean, there is Joy, I've forgotten her surname, but she was the person who realized that facial recognition didn't recognize Black
Mhm.
women. There have been some Black women in this,
But yeah,
sort of
there have
calling it
been.
out
Yeah.
from the start. So we don't want to just say no Black women are involved,
No, there are Black that
Yeah.
yeah, that's not what I was yeah,
No,
that's
no.
not yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
There
So
are so many Black women. There are so many Black women. There are so many women in AI, but I
yeah.
just wish our voices were more elevated. I wish that we didn't have to scream at the top of our lungs to be heard, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I think one of the things we're doing very well on the podcast is we're getting people from all over the
Yeah.
world to bring their different
And I think
perspectives.
that that's what we both wanted. We wanted
Yeah.
inclusivity
Yeah.
and to raise up the voices of those who may not have been heard as much before
Absolutely.
from all different walks of life.
Yes.
If you could put one AI related wish on your Christmas list, something that would make the world more equitable, safe, or inclusive, what would it be?
Oh, so not a selfish wish. It's a big wish, isn't it? Goodness.
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
I would love for my company to be out there. I would love that. I
Mm.
think it would make the world more equitable. I think it would make the world more safe and more inclusive. We just finished our beta and it's ready to go out. We're doing
Mm.
outreach, trying to get it into schools, trying to get into universities, into workplaces. And I think that should be on everyone's Christmas wish list this
Mm.
year.
Mm.
Uh, it's a program that can just make the world so much safer.
Fantastic, fantastic. So pleased that you've got to that stage and looking forward to hearing all of the great case studies of what difference it's made. As I think about it, I think when I think about the sort of my AI wish, I work with leaders in organizations and the way AI is often rolled out, it's like you've got this tool, do something with it. And I guess my wish through my work is to make sure that no one's left behind, that people are thoughtful in the way that they approach it, that they don't see this through a monetary lens, which is I can get 20 people, or I can remove 20 people from my organization by adding some agentic AI. And they don't do that because I think everyone who does that is going to have to roll back anyway and realize that's not the thing to do, but it's just harmful. So I want AI to be rolled out with a real value of the human experience and the human addition. And I want people to be thoughtful in how they roll AI out. So I'd say that's my big Christmas list. I guess there's a bigger one as well. I think AI, there should be something in place that means you can only use AI for good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the good. If I had that one wish, AI should be used to solve the biggest problems of our time.
Mhm.
That's what we should be using this for. The biggest tool, the biggest problems. And that's my big wish.
I think your big wish will come in a few years,
Okay.
maximum a few years. Because even in mainland Europe, you pass the EU AI EU AI Act. We're one of the very few countries that doesn't have strict legislation on AI at the moment, us in America. But I think that we have some catching up to do. And I hope that we do. I hope there is catch up. But just looking at the EU AI Act that was passed this year or last year, it really is something that we can strive towards as well. What is something or someone in your professional or personal AI journey this year that you're most grateful for?
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to say you because, yeah, we had this idea for the podcast and it definitely wouldn't have happened if it was me on my own. You've done the research, you've been editing, and you've been a great partner to be on this podcast with. And also, as a mum, it's like the biggest joy to be able to do something with your own daughter.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's meant that we've had more time together because we've been working on this. And I think that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I think that you're someone I'm very, very grateful for and continue to be grateful for.
I was going to say you as well.
It's 11.
I just feel like this has been such a great thing that we've done together. This podcast has been so fulfilling in so many different ways to me. And yeah, I love it. And I love you.
I love you too.
So here is our festive quick fire round.
Okay.
AI as a Christmas elf, helpful or slightly terrifying?
Helpful, but a cheeky little elf.
Like elf on a shelf, you know,
Yes.
the one that moves around,
Yeah.
does loads of different things. I also say helpful. One word to describe your 2025.
Evolve.
Yeah. I would say growing. What's your go-to Christmas song?
Oh, it's got to be Mariah Carey, isn't it? It's Christmas. She says that every year, and I love her. Yeah, she's great.
I love Last Christmas by Wham.
Oh, a bit sad.
It's a bit sad, but I like George Michael.
Yeah, he was amazing.
He was. Who would you love to have as a surprise guest on AI Effect next year? Barack Obama.
Wow. Yeah, we have to put it out there. I would like Barack Obama, and I would also like Dr. Joy Winnie. She was the person who kind of petitioned for the fact that Black women were not being recognized by facial recognition. And she's been outspoken and she was able to change that. It was down to her and her petitioning and her advocacy that changed things. I would love her to be on our podcast. And also, I've been studying on the MIT AI and Strategy and Leadership program. And there's Dr. Sandy Pentland from MIT. Would love to have him on our podcast too.
Well, you've spoken it out into the universe, so maybe it'll come to us.
Yeah. Barack, Joy, Sandy, call us.
So that is it for season 2.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We get messages on a regular basis from people saying, you've opened my eyes, you've inspired me, you've got me curious. Every time we get a message, it's life-changing because we know people are listening and it's making a difference. So huge thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. Confirmed. We will see you in 2026.
Until then, enjoy and look after yourselves.
Bye.
Bye.